Well, good morning, folks. This is your friendly woodworker back for another video. Remember me telling you I had 2 videos in the can ready to be editing? Well, I put the first one out. It was about those trash cans. And this one, I think you'll find it very interesting. A very complicated project. Took about 2 weeks. Just a lot of steps and mostly, waiting in between for resin to set up, because I use the mostly the thick set, the Total Bolt thick set, and it takes 3 or 4 days before you can do much with it. So anyway, that's what I use. But this video is about this bowl right here. Got cartoon characters in it. You can see, let me get another light here. Yeah, I can. Bring it up here where you can see it better. See, you can see the cartoon characters in it, cast in the sides. Unfortunately, the walls had to be pretty thick. It's a heavy bowl. But anyway, that's what this is about, so I want you to watch it all now. It may be long, I don't know. It's a lot of steps, and I really hate to cut them out if I don't have to, because there's a lot of features in here that just you won't see unless I point them out. But anyway, that's the other thing is I wanted to thank everybody that's given me such kind comments and wishing me health. And I'm on the road to recovery. Hip doesn't bother me at all anymore. I mean, I don't think I could run. Of course, I couldn't anyway. But my back bothers me quite a bit. I can't stand over about 5 or 10 minutes, and I got to sit down. But it seems to be getting better. When I fell, I hurt my back too, my lower back. So I was ready to start a project. I'll show it to you real quick. It'll be my next one when I get to where I can turn. But you remember, every time I poured epoxy, any leftovers, I put in this container. And sometimes I deliberately mix more because, I wanted to add to the container. Well, here it is on this, this thing don't roll, does it? Not on this. Back out a little bit there. There we go. This has been on the lathe now for 8 weeks. I put it on the lathe when, before all the health issues got to me. And I hadn't got back to it. Hopefully in a few days or maybe a week I'll get out here and start turning it. My plan is I'm going to make a big goblet out of it. The center is hickory. That was the waste block, and it's pretty hard wood, so that'll make a nice stem. But it's going to be a goblet. Be a short goblet and a wide goblet, but I'm hoping I got enough room put at least 1 captured ring in that hickory. We'll just have to see when I get there. But that's the next project. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I'm biting at the bits. But like everything else, you just can't push it. I mean, if you do, you'll end up backing up, and I don't want to do that. I done been there. So I guess that's all I gotta say. Well, good morning. I had to check and make sure it was morning or night. So this project, I think is going to be really interesting. This is the first step. It's a multi-step project, which seems like they always are when you're dealing with resin. The first pouring I make will be in here. And this is going to be the inner part of the bigger one. Sort of hard to explain, but I got it in my head. But anyway, this is going to be the plug, or some people call it a resin saver. All I'm going to do is clean it up a little bit and get the ends cleaned up and cut that off, and then it'll sit right into here. And then I'm just going to pour solid resin in. Hopefully it'll be sort of like a blue with some sort of silver or white pearl in it to give it a sky look is what I'm after. So let me find my face mask and my gloves. And all I'm going to do here is clean this up right to here, square this end off and cut it off right there. So I'm going to be turning this at a grand. The potentiometer is about to belly up here. Rougher teeth. There you go. Here's what I use right here. This is, it's really made for an RV, slide out silicone lube. And you can buy like 3 of these for the price it costs you for 1 can of like Stoner or something. I'm not putting them down because their stuff works fine. You know, I'm just looking at the economy of scale here. And this works very well. The way I handle it is I just come in here and soak me a paper towel real well. Now I want to be careful not getting none on this upper lip because I'm going to be gluing to it. And once I put this on, you ain't going to glue nothing to it. So basically, I just come in here like this and wipe it all the way around. And these are pretty good about releasing anyway, but this really makes it better. Now, if you put the silicone on and wait too long, like a couple days or something, for some reason it sort of wants to lose its effectiveness. And I have no idea why. But anyway, there we are. All right, I've got it centered, and I got my pieces all cut. So here's the way I do it. So let's just start with this one right here. What I do is I come in here, and I can get this stuff rolling. It's this thick. I put me some CA right there. I'm going to put me some right here. I can get it to go right there and right there. Okay, it did. They don't set up fast, so you're not big old hurry. And I take this, and I want to spray some accelerator on it. And I set it right there and right there. There and there. Hopefully it didn't move very much. It's close enough. Now, you see there? Just that simple. So I'll go to the opposite side now. Where my glue, there it is. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. I already marked them with the black mark, which was certainly not very accurate, but it'll work for a while. Come on now. Give her a little touch there. Alright. That's all it is to it. Okay, I am going to be using Fixit Fathom. Oh, this is not the Fathom. I shouldn't have said that, but they've got now where they're putting them together. But this is an older can, so this is just Fixit, and it's a 3-to-1 mix here. So I'm going to start. I'm not going to mix enough at one time, but I'm going to start right here on a 3-to-1. And I generally just mix by volume rather than weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that point and that point, and that'll be my 3-to-1 mix right there for this, and then I'll come back with some more. May change to a little lighter color or something. I don't know. We do what we do when we do what we do. Okay? And I'm going to pour it in. Do it again, Sam. I'm gonna debubble that for a little while. And then I'll add some more and debubble it again. Then it'll go into the vacuum, or the pressure pot overnight. Well, that's how it works anyway. I'll get back to you. Well, I got it out of the pressure pot this morning. It really surprised me because I got a couple cracks. I've never, ever had that happen with thickset. Never, ever. So anyway, I'm going to top it off with a little bit of different there and put it back in, but I'm going to use 2-to-1 for this. And put it in the pressure pot and see if it can get rid of some of them cracks. Have to fine tooth. No, what is that? Yes, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay. Mixed way too much already. I'm going to put this in the pressure pot, pour it in there. You're not going to be able to see it, but that way I won't have to tug it around, wrist, spinning it, spilling it, sorry. All right, well, I've got the inner core out now. And what I noticed, and I'm trying to figure out why, the inner core, this darker blue part, this is thickset epoxy, and I have used it dozens and dozens of times. And this is the first time I've ever had it crack on me. It cracked right here and here. Now these are, hopefully these are minor, but you know, I don't think they're catastrophic by any means, because this is the inner core. All I'm going to do with it is turn it down a little bit. But it made me stop and think of all the times I've used thickset, and that's been, oh no, I said dozens. Who knows how many times. Yeah, I've never had a crack, and this time I had a crack, so I said to myself, what did I do different? Well, the only thing I did different was I used a vacuum chamber. And I'm thinking that, you know, all the bubbles are evacuated, basically, and then when I put it into the pressure pot and zap that 50 pounds on it, there's no bubbles. So I don't know, is there no cushion or something? But, you know, that's more than a coincidence, because I have poured many of them like this and even thicker and never have had a crack. And, you know, the weather's tolerable. It's 70, 80 degrees. So, I don't know. I just, you know, got any thoughts on it, let me know. I'm ready to get this on the lathe now. I've got to get it turned down to where I've got a decent area here where I can place all my animals in here. And then we'll get started with the second stage. See you later. We just got done turning it at 1,000 RPM with a round cutter. And you see what a mess it made here. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna have to get some more speed out of this thing. Now this is at 2,500 RPM with the same round cutter, and the results aren't much better. Just checking out where them cracks are. Ooh, look at there. And there and there. Holy crap. I'm going to try a little bit of thick CA, start buying thick CA, and let her sit up real good and turn it again at about 2,500, and we'll see what happens. All right, well, I turned it some more and it still didn't make me happy, so I'm adding a little more CA to it, and we'll play it again, Sam. All right, some more CA, and let's try it again. much better. Got nothing a little bit of sanding can't handle now. Sanded it down to 400. Now we're going to do a little denatured alcohol so you can see what it looks like. Gives you an idea what it's going to look like. Those cracks will fill it clear and you'll never see them. All right, I'm ready to put my animals on, so I sort of wanted to show you what I'm doing. I've got all the little animals lined up, going, you know, around it. They're all from some TV program. I wouldn't exactly know what I'm talking about there, but anyway, I'm putting them all on pedestals. You know, none of them the same, at different heights, and you know, I've got a big old box of scrap walnut here. They're all going to be walnut, and the way I'm doing it, I'll show you here real quick. I'll do this, and then we'll pick it up again until it's over. So let me get all these out of my way. I just placed them there to make sure I had the right amount. So I'm going to put the giraffe on next. So I'm going to lay it down like so. And well, maybe I won't put the giraffe on. Let's see. See what I might just find me a better one here. One I like a little better. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much. And this way, this way. And this way is small. I've got this one made here, so it's going to sit right here like that. And then whatever I put is going to be right here. So what I do is I take a little bit of this is Starbond medium, and I'll put a dab on here. You don't have to be that much. Okay, and now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to spray right here with Accelerator. And then I will place this one right about there. Give it a second or two. And that's about all that took. Okay. Now I need to find me something that'll fit on there quite well. Let's see. Come on now. Yeah, I'm thinking this one will work just fine. Of course, that's wore off, so I have to shoot it again. And this one here, there. All right, that's how I'm going to do it. Well, I got them all on there. Excuse me. The next step, I think, you know, I'm sort of playing this as I go. Never done this before. I've seen it done though. Is I'm going to mix a little bit of 2-to-1 epoxy. I'm going to paint all these characters with the epoxy. and let that sit up. And the idea is to preserve the paint and maybe keep them from, like this head dropping or something because of the heat. I'm going to use Total Boat Fathom for the final pour. It doesn't generate as much heat, so hopefully that'll work. But anyway, I think it worked out good. I just I happened to buy 10 of these at the dollar store, and it worked out just perfect. Not short, none left over. And I just took scrap walnut, and what I'm gonna do is, once I get them painted, I'm gonna put a little moss in the bottom when I put it in. I'm gonna use this bucket right here for the final mold. After I treat it with silicone and stuff, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of moss in there all the way around and pour just a little bit more 2-to-1 and let that set up in that moss before I do my final pour. So that's the plan, man. So let me, I'm gonna take a little break right now. Making a mess here, but yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes. I couldn't think of another way to do it. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. There you go. See you later. Okay. Well, hey, look, I got some moss here, some more plastic moss. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put some, if I can, in here. Just a little bit right in here before I put it in there. Maybe, I'm going to try to get some of it just to hang in there. Like that right there. I know I can't get it off. Hey there. I wish this was clear so you could see it better, so I could see it better. But it's not. So we have to do with what we got, don't we? Alright, I'm going to mix up a little 2-to-1 and pour it in there. Just enough to hold that moss down. Let that sit up before I pour my Fathom in there. I'll bring you back when I get ready to pour the Fathom. Well, hello. Well, I've got this Fathom right here. It's a 2-to-1 mix. I've got it all poured up. Haven't started mixing yet. I've used it before. It's extremely slow setting up. This time of year might not be quite as slow, but I'm not going to use a drill to do it because I want to minimize bubbles. I don't have any idea how much I use. I don't generally do the measuring, but I sort of enjoy putting a little color with it and pouring it in my catch-all over here, and then when it gets full I can make a real pretty bowl on it. Here we are. And here we go. You think I did that on purpose, wouldn't you? All right, let me fire up that pot. Hey, good morning. Well, to say I'm pleased about this is an understatement. I wish it was a clearer mold, but it's not. There's a few bubbles on top, as you can see, but if you can look down in there and go all the way around, whoops, sorry about that, all the way around, you can see, look at this, I don't know if that'll help or not. There you go. There you go, you can see my animals in there. See, there's some bubbles, but they're on top. You don't see none inside, and I see absolutely zero cracks. So it looks like my theory about the vacuum pot was correct. Same resin. Almost the same amount of pour. Alright, there you go. It'll be tomorrow before I can pop that. At least tomorrow, maybe longer. There it goes. Ooh. I'm on that damn bridge. Oh yeah. Silicone doesn't let it shine up as well as it would normally. Isn't that gonna be pretty if I don't screw it up somehow? I had one twisted. They're not that hard to get out, but it still ain't no fun. Okay, that ought to get it. Whew. Hot dear. It's going to be a long video, and I think we're at about the halfway point. I'm really not sure because I haven't finished editing. But it'd be a good place to break off and come back later. It'll be in your history. I don't like two-part videos, so I don't make them. So right now we're right about the 30-minute mark. I'm thinking maybe this will be close to an hour. Otherwise, I got to cut out a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to do that because I want to show you some of my tricks and trades and my accomplishments. So come back later, and I'll still be here. Bye. that's good. I can live with that. Almost got it. Another round I would get it, but it's hard to tell where his nose is. And the tiger paw's close too. Gotta quit. Right there. That's it. And it's almost round. What do you think about that? Do some major sanding in the morning. I think we're going to be there. Yep, this is going to work out. Yes, it will. All right. Time to blow myself off and quit. I'm going to do a little power sanding here this morning. All right, I'm going to start with this butterfly sander, palm sander. You know, it's got so many different names, I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to start with 80 grit. And basically, I'm not going to have the lathe on. I'm going to turn it on, but it ain't going to come on. I'm just going to power sand it with the 80 and try to see if I can't get rid of these tool marks and get down a little bit without, where'd it go? There it is, without getting my tiger's claw or my hippopotamus's nose. So let's, and you know, I just do it like this. The secret is, you know, you got to keep it moving. Just put it in one spot, you're going to have a flat spot. See there, like this? I don't really care if it clogs up the paper. Because I have plenty. Sorry, I had my shirt in the way a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end where I'd show you what it's going to look like with denatured alcohol. Ready? See how pretty that's going to be? They all got their long little perch there and a little bit of moss or grass underneath them. What do you think? That work? Okay, what I'm doing now is, I hope it's not a mistake. I'm using medium. There you go. I'm using medium Starbond on a few of those deeper chip outs. That's the word I was looking for. And I don't know, you know, I clean them out real good with denatured alcohol, and I'm putting a little dab of this. Unfortunately, I cut that off too sharp, but you know, I just thought of something. I have plenty more of those because when you buy this from Starbond, you get extra caps and extra nozzles and all that kind of stuff with it. In fact, I think they're the only one I know that does that, and right now is a good example of why that's such a benefit. So, you know, if you need some CA glue, give it serious consideration because they're very competitive on their price and your, I guess, flexibility is much, much better. All right, let me go find one. I'm going to do that right as we speak. I'll be back in a sec. All right, here's a good deep one right here. Right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. The only problem, there it is already. Oh yeah, much better. All right, let's let that rest a while. All right, where it's at. And we'll do the rest of them. It ain't like I'm in a hurry. Because this is going to be so pretty, I don't want to screw it up. All right, I'll catch you in a little while. I can always go watch YouTube. All right, while I'm waiting on my super glue to dry, which, you know, it takes a long time. You think it's dry, you know, but if it's a very deep place, it's not dry inside, and you go to sand it, you'll make a mess. Anyway, while I was doing that, waiting on that, I decided to go ahead and cut my upper and lower rings out of this walnut now. I try my best not to waste any of this valuable walnut. So I try to get the upper and the lower out of the same piece of wood. And in this particular case, it's a little harder because you don't have much to play with. But here's a little trick that a lot of people don't know. The normal way that people do this is that they drill a hole right there and they use like a saber saw and come around. But I found that if you'll find where the grain runs like this and draw your line with the grain and come in here and follow it and then come all the way around, when you pop this will go back together right here and you can clamp and glue it and you'll never see it. Now I'm not real good at this. I guess I'm not steady enough, but I'm going to try to stay on that line. I should have done it there because I'm going to be going against it. Hold on a minute. No, it's not too late for that. Now, the reason you want to sort of follow the grain is it won't be as noticeable. I mean, if I made a cut and come in straight across the grain, it'd be very, very visible. But in this case, you see this grain running right here like this? See that one? Okay, I'm going to come in here to it, right to the edge of this. On it, yeah, right to the edge of that, right there. Oh, I moved it a little bit. That's okay. So now you see this cut will be from right here, and then I can rotate around and come back here, and then this will go back together. So I won't be using that one. So that makes it, being as I'm right-handed, that makes life a whole lot easier. And as much light in here as I wish there was, but maybe that'll help. Let me flip on those big lights. I guess I could get one of the battery power. I don't have much to play with, so. If I buy any more band saws or blades or whatever, they're going to have an electric brake on them. Bring this apart a little bit. There you go. And you see right here, put that together right there. And you can hardly see what I'm talking about. And I have a pretty nice little circle for the bottom. There you go, sports fans. Well, good morning, folks. Well, last night, I laid there and I said, you know, I just can't stand it. I mean, I'm so close right here. I have got to polish this before I move forward. I mean, it's sanded down to 6,000. But it's, you know, it's got a little haze on top, which the polish will take out. Got that one little place right there. I could drill it and put a little CA glue in it, but there's no guarantee it'll be any better than that, and that ain't very bad. And that is the only place. A couple of itty-bitty places there, but I'm thinking the wax and stuff will fix them. So it's basically the only place in the whole thing. And I really don't want to risk it. Looky here. I want to show you this. This is out, you know, out of the clamps and stuff. But you have to look real hard. Right there is the seam. It didn't quite fit together good right there. What it is, I used the big saw to cut it, and it had a wider or thicker blade than that little bitty one. So, you know, it's a little more of a gap to fill. But that'll be just fine. The other side's got a little bit more right there. I put a little bit of brown CA in there. Shows up more than I wish it did, but that's the way you do it right there, because you see this seam follows the grain. If it went across the grain or whatever, like this right here or something, you'd see it, but this you don't see. Not quite as wide as I want it to be, but I'm going to just have a rolling walnut top, just sort of roll around it, and the bottom will be, hold on, I'll show you this. This is going to be the bottom right here, like so, and that one will go right there, see. Of course, all this is going to be gone. I'll hollow this in first, like I always do, up till about right here, and then I'll glue this on and put a tenon or recess, probably a tenon, because walnut's really bad about busting open if you get close to the edge. So that's the plan. But in the meantime, I can't stand it no more. I'm going to pull out the Axe paste. I already pulled it out. And we're going to put a polish on this bad boy. And when I epoxy it up, what I'll do is I'll use some painter's tape and tape this off so it doesn't get all glued up. Because no matter how hard you try, you end up touching a finger to it or something that's got some epoxy on it. I mean, it just always happens. There's no getting around it. I don't care how hard you try. So what I've got here, the cans are getting a little weathered. This is, where'd it go right here? There you go. This is Axe abrasive sanding paste. And I will follow that up with Axe polish and restoring paste. And it's going to shine like a new dollar. It's almost out of this one. I got some more though. Tom, you don't need to rush me some more. So anyway, that's like an old Scotch-Brite pad. Works quite well. But basically, you don't be a little liberal with it. You don't want to waste it all, but you need to put enough on it so you get that sanding and grinding effect. I poured all at one time, using a pressure pot. No bubbles, no cracks. I thought that was a crack right there, but it's not. It's sort of like the blue come up a little bit. And the blue cracked. And I fixed them all, but with the blue, which is also towboat fathom, I use a vacuum chamber on it, and I think that was a mistake. I won't be using a vacuum chamber on these anymore. I just I don't see a reason to. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, to me, using a vacuum chamber is like fixing something that ain't broke. Yeah, I said I was going to go in there and sit down and rest a minute. Here I am, running my mouth. Catch you a little bit. I'm going to drill my cheat hole now. I'll start with a small Forstner bit and move up to 2 1/8, and then we'll hollow the rest out. The hole is drilled. Now we're getting ready to hollow out. We're going to start with that square tool right there. After I go have a siesta or something, see you in a little while. to cut it deeper, and then on the sides, I've got to cut the blue down to where it's pretty thin, but not so thin that it, cuts into the feet of my animals. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, I've got it hollowed out and sanded. And now I'm getting ready to epoxy the base on it, which is walnut, right here. And it's going to go right there like so. But first, what I got to do is prepare both sides. If you don't, it'll pop on you later. And my way of doing it is totally different than most people's, but it works, and that's what matters. Okay, what I do is I go around here and I drill small holes in it all the way around at angles, and I'll do that on both of these. So I'll come in here like this, get this higher speed. Come on. So I come in here like so, see? Image. Drilled both sides and mixed up some epoxy. It's 30-minute epoxy. And those extra hands are my friend Joe's. He popped in. So anyway, we're going to put this on, then we're going to proceed. Here's where I usually get it on if I'm not careful. Okay. I let the lathe turn slow for 20, 30 minutes, enough for it to sit up, and then I'll park it overnight and come back and take it apart tomorrow and take a look at it. Well, this is super good and dried now. Okay, I want to show you something that I do occasionally. And the reason I do it is because you get a super clean cut, and especially if you got end grain, this really helps a lot with the sanding. Now, it can be hazardous to your health, so you need to make sure that you have confidence in your basic mount at the headstock, and you need to come in here with a tailstock always. I never do it without it. But what I do is I'm going to turn this at about 2,500 RPM, and I'm going to use a sharp round cutter, and basically you barely have to touch it, and it comes out pretty dang smooth. But like I said, you got to have everything in order. You got to know everything's cool. I mean, you can't have any doubt about anything. If you do, don't do this. And you got to have a nice pair of boys on you. So, and let's see, you naturally wear a face shield and all that kind of good garbage. So we put this on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Probably wise to stand aside until it comes up to speed, just to make sure. So you get past any type of vibration when you to do that, and right now I'm at 27:21. Putting almost no pressure on it. See right here where there's any grain? It's not hardly rough at all. And that turned out pretty nice. So basically just a little sanding right here. And you got the base of it finished other than the tenon, which I'm getting ready to put on now. And of course I won't, I will not run that speed if I can help it without the tailstock. It's just too hazardous to your health. But I do this on purpose because I know it's going to be in here like that, and I'm going to have that nasty end grain, and sometimes that can be you know what to get out. All right, I'll be back in a minute and we'll play some more. Okay, I'm getting ready to put a tenon in here, sort of a sunken tenon, and then when I'm done I'll just round the edges. But what I wanted to do here was just make sure that this area is concaved, because this right here is my base, what it sits on the outer side, and it is, so we're in good shape there. And the next thing, I've already preset these calibers. They're sharp pointed. And I'm going to come in here and touch this side. Every once in a while I hit this side, but it just goes from everybody talks about how dangerous it is. It's really not. I mean, I guess it could throw it up your face or something, but most I've ever had to happen is just sort of throw it away. And I've done it a lot, my friends. But anyway, don't do it. All right, let's go this thing up and get this marked. So you sort of take your best guess right here, see? And you want to make your best. You want to make sure you try to go across the center. So you see there, that looks pretty good. Uh-oh. Ah, come on now. Be nice to me. See, weird shit happens when you go slow. I'll show you the difference now. That's the difference right there. Hey there. Well, I'm going to do something a little different today. This is my top ring. I've got it glued down with hot glue to a piece of plastic. And what I'm going to do is come around here and put these around here like this all the way around. And then I'm going to take tuck tape and build me a border here, and I'm going to fill that with a pocket. I work it like this right here. This one, this one. That's about right. I don't want it too thick. I mean too much of a gap anyway. So I check the grain. So I come in here and I make sure I hold it the same way all the time. I just, if I can, this is Starbond medium. Come on now, I'm going to pour me a dab right there. And what I'll do is I'll come over here with some Starbond Accelerate and I'll spray the bottom of that, see? And I'll come in here and I'll sit it right there. And it's there, see how quick that works? So, I'm going to cut a piece of this off. That's just too hard to handle. Be right back. Here we go again, sorry. Okay, set my spacer there. Take my next one. Check the grain orientation. Give me another dab right there. Don't need much. Spray the bottom of that. I think that was the bottom. And set that one right there. That must not have been the bottom. Sometimes they get all screwed up. There you go. Now you sort of got to leave this right here because it's going around the circle, you know. Come on now, quit playing with me. There you go. So, I don't know how long this takes. I know I don't have enough here, but I got plenty. I got it all set up to cut more. Get that one out of the way before I use it. Hardest part is sometimes you can't see which way the grain's going. So, I think it might be easier to do it this way. But I'm using 2-to-1 resin, and I put some blue and some silver in it. Alright, I believe it's all settled in. Done good, Larry. Well, I got the top glued on. I cut away a little more than I intended here, which made this, you know, a little thinner than what I wanted. But, you know, I will adapt and move on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this right here with epoxy. And then from this line, it's going to sort of like go in to right there. And the same thing on the outside. So, be more like an umbrella lip. It'd be pretty good size, but that's okay. I want to get all that in there, especially since I did so much work. That ain't so bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Hard not to stand in front of this. chippy dippies. Okay, here goes nothing. Ooh. Right, I did a real quick wet sand in here, just on these areas where, up near the wood, you know, where the turn-in touched it. And I also sort of hit everything else with like 600. So now I'm coming in with the Axe paste. And we're gonna shine her up. Final wax in here. What I'm doing now is I've got a clean paper towel, semi-clean, and I'm holding it against it. It's had the Axe restoring polish and paste on it. Pretty heavy. What you want to do, you want to hold it against it with some pressure to build up heat. It melts that carnauba wax and beeswax, and that's where you get your real shine and your protection. But anyway, there you are, guys. I'm going to get her out now and put her in the cold jaws and turn around and round that tin, get it finished up and put it on the laser, put my logo on it, and we'll have a wrap. Almost done cleaned this one. See you later. Hey guys, well, here it is finally. Got the bottom finished there. I'll take some close-up pictures here after a while, so I can get this over here. There you go. I think it turned out pretty dang nice. It's really heavy though. Of course, I pretty much had to be with walls that thick. I might could have got some of that out on the inside, but I'm awful close to the backside of that hippo, and I didn't want to ruin none of my animals. So there you go. One more down, and I'm gonna try to do a couple more. But thank you very much, and hey, bye bye.